How to be a good project manager. I'm William Farmer. I'm Managing Director for Dale Carnegie Australia. We're an engagement specialist for high performance teams and high performance individuals. I'm lucky, I've been working with construction firms for more than 20 years, and just recently in Australia, companies like Hutchinson Builders, Painter and Dixon, and a few other major construction firms that you'd recognise. Now, one of the reasons why they send their project managers to us is because, man, they're the hub. They're the hub of a project, and they've got a lot of variables that they need to be able to sort out. So I'm going to take you through a couple of points that can really help you finish your projects on time, but also get the cooperation so you're not standing alone. Point number one, you're not an island. You know this. You have to be able to communicate, and you have to be able to communicate incredibly well. And remembering that not everyone hears the message in the same language that you do. Look, I work with a lot of site managers and project managers, and some of them have come from the tools and they can be really straight with their language because that's how they were taught. Others from university, they've had a more rounded view of things. They've still got to be able to engage with subcontractors, people who are not from the same educational background as them. And so my first advice to any project manager is learn to be flexible. If that's your umbrella of communication, you need to extend it as far as you possibly can so that you're able to communicate on all levels. Two, this is a no-brainer. Plan. Now I know you have maybe your Microsoft planning process and it's all itemized, and obviously smart leaders, smart project managers have that. But I'm talking about the overall plan in regards to, hey, how do I want this site to work? Who's my 2IC? Who can I rely on? What happens when it goes wrong? What's my contingency when it goes wrong? How do I get people to cooperate around some of the projects or the areas that I need to work with? And so creating a very simple plan that can be done in about 5 or 10 minutes, or a more extensive plan that requires a little bit more thought, but the model needs to be the same. Because if it's cloudy in the pool but it's misty in the pew, if you don't know, then trying to get your team to buy into the process is going to be a bit more difficult. So second point is, and you know it, plan. Third point is buy into the plan and getting people to understand with clarity what you're trying to achieve. And also the standards that each person is required so that the plan is executed. Also, one of the things that I encourage is, spending that one-on-one time, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, and mentoring and saying, asking smart questions rather than just saying, hey, I need you to do this, need you to do that. Now, I was brought up in the military, and look, that was a natural way of communicating. But when you're on site and you've got 10,000 different things you want to do, if you need to engage people so they're learning while you're communicating, and you might ask questions rather than just tell them what the outcome is. Now, I know it's expedient just to tell, but how do you know they actually got it? Because your interpretation of the information is yours, what's theirs. So I spot check. So buy-in and execution is absolutely essential to smart project management. Just a couple of tips to consider for your plan. The vision, what's the outcome, the desirable outcome? The should be, what is a should be picture? And that should break down into maybe several goals. Also look at your current reality and what that looks like and where the gap is. Then you should have that time to look at your specific goals and the outcomes of those goals. And obviously timeframes and resources are the standard things that you would need to put into that. Look, one of the things I see quite often is that we fly from the hip, and it's in our head, and that's great. But if you can just put that 20% of actual planning, it can save you 80% in time wasted in execution. And we've all seen that. And it's a huge cost to the business when that takes place. So hey, the action I want you to take is we have programs on specifically project management leadership and how to lead large projects, but also our famous Dale Carnegie program, which is how to win friends and influence people. Look, a lot of people don't understand that the intricacies that project managers sometimes have to overcome with customers and managers and subordinates and other subcontractors who really don't give a toss sometimes, and they'll just say it to you anyway. All the variables of your communication. So my action to you is invest in those skills of collaboration towards your strategy. And I'll tell you what, you'll add more value as a project manager. Talk to us at Dale Carnegie. I'm William Farmer, Managing Director for Dale Carnegie Training, Engagement Specialist for high performance teams, and like you, high performance individuals.